afternoon, the final time we'll see the New York Yankees here at Rogers Center in the 2011 season. Joe Girardi's ball club won 7-6 yesterday to even the series at a game apiece. The New York Yankees are 40-11 in day games. That's the best day record in baseball. Brett Gardner leads off for the 54th time this year. Eduardo Nunez is at second. Cano is the DH today. Alex Rodriguez is cleanup. Swisher, Chavez, Russell. Chris Dickerson gets the start in left. And Ramiro Pena is the shortstop.
This afternoon's starting pitcher is brought to you by Icy Hop. Pain is no match for the Icy Hop patch. This is Brandon Morrow's 28th start of the season. He'll be trying to figure out why his season has gone south. He was talking after his last game, saying it's been a rough stretch and it's been wearing on me, but every 5 days I go out there, I feel good. I feel like I'm going to break out of it on that day. Maybe today is the day because his numbers here at home against the Yankees are outstanding.
Misses with that first pitch fastball to Brett Gardner. Morrow making his third start of the season against the Yankees. Derek Jeter, the regular leadoff hitter, is out of the lineup today. Ball on the strike.
Morrow's 3 home career starts against the Yankees. He's 1-0 with an ERA under 2. Yankees are hitting just 171 against him, and he's had a ton of strikeouts, 26 of them in his 19 innings of work.
1-2. Gardner checking with the home plate umpire, Dan Iasonia. That ball caught the outside corner. Gardner has hit .455 against the Blue Jays this season. Breaking ball missed away. You've got to keep Gardner off the bases. He has 11 steals against the Jays in 13 attempts. Down ball to short. McCoy to Encarnacion. Gardner's retired.
It's a good matchup for Brandon Morrow, I think, against the Yankees. You see the numbers. You just mentioned Brett Gardner's numbers. Well, he's only hitting .235 against Morrow in his career. Jeter and Granderson are not in the lineup, partly because of the day game. They need some rest, but a lot of reasons why, because they do not hit well against Morrow. He matches up well with him, throws hard with a good slider. I think negates what the Yankees do offensively.
Eduardo Nunez, the second baseman here this afternoon. Nunez, a very good fastball hitter. And Morrow, of course, throws a lot of fastballs.
He's an aggressive type of hitter, a little bit different than some of the other veteran Yankee hitters. He's a young player, just in his second year in the big leagues. It will have holes. 5 strikeouts in his last 15 games. Susceptible to a good hard slider, and that's Morrow's bread and butter.
There's a breaking ball. It was up a bit, and Nunez is able to foul it out. Robinson Cano today is the DH. He gets half a day off. Yankees will play 3 day games in a row with a makeup game tomorrow. Wow, that ball hit the umpire. No foul tip, and it rocked the home plate umpire, Dan Iasonia.
Well, you got to stick your face down in there. You are an easy target. This ball fouled right off the mask and sends him backwards. That'll rock your world, won't it?
0-2. Breaking ball buried in the dirt. Brandon Morrow, you mentioned his struggles, and it's been the long ball that's really caused him problems of late. Hasn't been able to keep the ball in the ballpark, and he throws a hard fastball, pretty straight, and that will lead to a lot of fly ball outs.
As long as it's down, though, he's fine. The times that he has been getting in trouble, and you mentioned his fastball being straight, it's when it's up. And good hitters, they don't miss too many of those.
Bouncing ball. This is going to be a tough play for McCoy. Nunez outruns it. It's an infield hit for Eduardo Nunez.
He can run. He can really run, and he was just in sacrifice mode right there and beats it out. Defensively for the Blue Jays this afternoon, Eric Thames back in left field with Rasmus and Bautista. McCoy, Kelly Johnson will form the double play combination in the middle of the diamond. Brett Laurie, Edwin Encarnacion with the start at first base. J.P. Arancibia back behind the plate. Colby Rasmus, what a catch he made in yesterday's ball game. The degree of difficulty of the actual catch was not that tough, but where he came from and how far he had to go to make that catch was very impressive. Saved 2 runs because of that catch.
Ended up being a double play. That came in the 4th inning. Robinson Cano looks at a high fastball. Another great season for Cano. He established a new career high with 112 RBI.
What's impressive about Cano is his extra base ability. Since 2005, 452 extra base hits. This is from a second baseman. Impressive numbers, power numbers from Robinson Cano.
Finishing up strong. Nunez looks like he wants to run. Nunez has 19 steals in just 102 games. He only has 279 at bats, so he's very aggressive.
The whole Yankee team is very aggressive. This team, you know all about the home runs and the great hitters and the great bullpen, but this team can run. Second in the American League in stolen bases. Even Nunez has only been thrown out 6 times this year.
Good fastball. 1-2.
Boy, when he is burying that pitch right there, he's going to be tough to beat. We have seen him this year when he is commanding that fastball and keeping it down, hitting those corners. He's had some of his better games.
Just off the inside edge, 2-2. This is Brandon Morrow's 28th start of the season. To give you an idea of just how dramatic his fly ball ground ball ratio is, he has not had a double play turned behind him this year in 158 1/3 innings. He'd love to get a ground ball right here off the bat of Cano. Full count.
We were talking to John Farrell about that stat the other day, that he hasn't thrown a ground ball double play in 158 innings this year. And you figure somewhere, you know, a catcher running or somebody, you know, running, that he would get some type of ground ball double play.
You see, Brian Butterfield anticipates that Nunez is going to run in this situation. 3-2, 1 out. Boy, Butterfield does a great job of reminding the infielders, and most of the players understand the situation. They have a pre-series meeting to go over the tendencies and trends of what the Yankees are doing, but Butterfield is right there to help out his infielders. There goes Nunez, ball 4. The base, first and second, 1 out.
Scouting report this afternoon for Brandon Morrow, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. I think he needs to establish that fastball, and he needs to establish it down. He needs to use all his other options. He's got the fastball and the slider, but I think he needs to move and mix in a curve and a changeup a little bit more. He's at a career high in innings. He threw 146 last year, and he is sitting at 158.1 this year.
Alex Rodriguez had a 3-run home run in the 6th inning yesterday. There goes Nunez to third. The throw is going to second in plenty of time, and Cano is gunned down. All right, heads up play by Arancibia. He knew he didn't have a shot at Nunez, and the trail runner Cano got a late break at first.
That is heads up baseball right there. And J.P. Arancibia has been throwing a lot better, and it's all has to do with his feet. He's very quick with his feet. His transfers from the glove to his throwing hand has been a lot better. Cano watching all the way inside there. That catcher, he's thrown out easily.
Look out. Rodriguez lost the grip on his bat. It sailed over the camera pit.
And a Yankee fan got the bat, and I don't think they're giving it back.
No, they're not giving that bat back. Hey, Rodriguez knows that. He's already working on a new bat.
How about that? They come to Canada to cheer on the Yankees, and they end up with a bat.
From A-Rod,
From A-Rod, right.
The bat helicopters, and it hits that back rail and bounces right into the lap of a Yankee fan. Just made his trip. Rodriguez has been plagued by a couple of different injuries this season. He missed time after having knee surgery, and most recently, coming off the disabled list, he injured his left thumb fielding a ground ball. But that thumb appears to be okay, judging what he did yesterday. Brandon Morrow has given up home runs in each of his last 5 starts, and when you look at the home runs allowed against the East this year, quite a difference from what he did a year ago.
Yeah, kept it in the ballpark in 2010 against the East clubs, but this year 14 of them in his starts against the East. You got to do that if you're going to pitch in this division. It's a tough division with some powerful lineups.
Another situation here where Morrow really needs to step on the gas pedal. He's thrown a lot of pitches. He's got Rodriguez in a hole, a ball and 2 strikes. Don't show him too much more. This is the first at bat. Rodriguez doesn't have a real good gauge on the velocity just yet. Little flare into right field. Bautista got a good break, makes a running catch. Rodriguez has retired. The Yankees are done in their half of the first. Brandon Morrow gets out of the first inning. Massage the lineup. He's made some subtle changes to it here again this afternoon. Mike McCoy, top of the order, had a 3 RBI day yesterday. Eric Thames back in the lineup. He moves into the 2 spot. Bautista, Lind, and Carnacion, middle of the order. Kelly Johnson, Brett Lloyd. Homie Rasmus had a great day yesterday. He's back in the center field, and J.P. Arancibia is behind the plate.
That's the lineup that Freddie Garcia will take a look at this afternoon. His last 2 starts this month have not been very good. He's given up 12 runs and 16 hits, 4 of them home runs over his last 2 starts. Picked up a no decision in both of those games. Yankees came back to win those games. He's had problems versus Toronto this year. 1-2 with an ERA over 6 versus the Blue Jays.
Line drive right to the shortstop, Pena.
Lots of changes for the New York Yankees this afternoon defensively. Chris Dickerson with his 3rd start in left field. Gardner will shift over to center field to give Granderson a day off. Swisher remains in right. Pena, Nunez, they've only made their 2nd and 6th start respectively at those positions for the Yankees. So they've had lots of changes. Nunez is an excellent second baseman. He just doesn't get a chance because of Robinson Cano.
Got a Gold Glover that's always going to drive in 100 runs. It's tough to break through. Eric Thames did not start in the game yesterday. Came on defensively late in the ball game and had an at bat. Unfortunately, that at bat came against Mariano Rivera and ended the game. Eric Thames has had a good rookie season. He now has 319 at bats, but you can see the league is making adjustments to him. Bounces this ball. Garcia barehands him. Throws out Thames.
The big man covering that ground. A scouting report for Freddie Garcia. His fastball has lost its zip. It doesn't have the same type of velocity that we saw when he was a youngster coming up with Seattle. He's got that slow hook, that slow curveball that he'll use to set up his fastball. And right now he just finds a way. He's lost just one time since June the 17th to the Jays. That was back in July, the middle of July. That's his last loss since the middle of June. So he just finds a way. You watch him this afternoon. There's the slow hook right there to Bautista. He sets that split grip. He's got that pitch also. But he's not the same type of guy we saw a few years ago.
There's a changeup right after the slow curveball. It's going to be soft. Jose Bautista is aware of that. Bautista has a couple of home runs against Garcia. But Freddie Garcia, to his credit, he understands now that he can't reach back for a little extra on his fastball. It's just not there. But he'll keep the ball out of the middle of the plate.
Yep. Very intelligent pitcher. He has an idea of what these hitters are trying to do to him. And he's got plenty of pitches.
1-2. Bautista reached for it, and Freddie Garcia has a quick 1-2-3 first inning. We've played an inning here on a gorgeous Sunday afternoon. It's a scoreless ball game. Stretch here, winding down the season. You look at his last 10 starts, just 2-7. The ERA closing in on 7, and a whip of almost 1.5. That's base runners and walks, hits and walks per innings pitched, and it's just been a real battle for him lately.
You want to get that whip down to about 1 or 1.1. That's very good. But right now, the walks, the hit batters, the long counts, the long innings, that has really been the nemesis of Brandon Morrow over his last 10 starts. Feels like he goes out there again and says, you know, today's the day. I feel like I can do it, but it just hasn't been there for him. Strikeouts are down too. Excuse me, Buck. He only had 2 strikeouts his last game at Boston. Now those can be a little bit overrated. I understand that, and it should help him if he doesn't have those type of strikeout games to keep his pitch count down.
Well, he had a 22 pitch first inning. Got to be around 15, 16 pitches per inning to get yourself deep into a ball game.
He's averaging 17 pitches per inning, which is just on the edge of, you know, really good.
Nick Swisher takes his strike. High breaking ball. Swisher was victimized by that great defensive play by Colby Rasmus. Swisher hit a ball in the gap in right center. Looked like it was going to drive in two, and Rasmus made a fine running catch. The Yankees on the bases got all messed up. Robinson Cano passed Mark Teixeira at third base. It ended up being a double play to end the inning.
Yankees were talking after yesterday's game about those kind of things. They said, yeah, we won the game and we're happy about that and we're in first place, but we need to clean it up a little bit.
Ball driven to left field. Eric Thames backing up in front of the warning track, makes the catch. Torey Lovullo is the outfield coach, and he is now talking to Adam Lone, who got the start in left field. And Lone had a rough day out there. He had a ball bounce out of his glove on the warning track, fell for an error, and then missed a ball diving for another line drive. But that was his first start in left field. And Lovullo, boy, he is really good. Yeah. Encouraging his outfielders, giving them shortcuts, how they might address a particular batter.
And if you don't feel comfortable out there, play just a little bit deeper, you know, to cut off some of those balls. He was telling me today that Lowen missed that ball as he reached up for it yesterday. It was almost like his glove was covering his face and he lost track of the ball and missed it. But that's tough for a young player like that to play all three outfield positions. Left field's a tough position.
Especially when you consider he was drafted as a pitcher in his third year as a position player. And he only played one game in left field in Las Vegas. So there's some adjustments to be made. 0-2 to the first baseman, Eric Chavez. Morrow has started in a pretty good location in this ball game. Everything is down pretty effectively.
Down, and for the most part it's been out of the middle of the plate. But these extra pitches to try and finish off hitters, eventually after 4, 5, 6 innings, they come back and keep you from going deeper into the ball game. Find that finishing pitch and use it.
There's a finishing pitch, the fastball on the outside corner. Chavez knew it. That's the first strikeout of the afternoon at 96.
Yeah, with some heat right there, but the important thing is where he threw it, with conviction, right on the outside corner. Plenty high enough, thigh high, down and away. Aaron Sebia frames it for him. That's where he needs to be, right there.
Catcher Russell Martin goes after the first pitch. It's a breaking ball. He fouls it off. Martin did not start in yesterday's game. Rookie Austin Romine was behind the plate and did a good job. Martin went 0 for 3 on Friday night. Bouncing ball behind second. Johnson and McCoy kind of got their signals crossed. Kelly Johnson went for it. McCoy might have had a better chance coming from shortstop with his momentum going toward first base.
Yeah, he usually cuts in front of the second baseman, the shortstop. McCoy is now 6 starts in a row at shortstop. He's got to cut in front here, cut that ball off, but he goes behind Johnson. And I think that blocked out Kelly's view of the baseball as he went to catch it. Blocked out a little bit, and he just can't come up with it.
Yeah, McCoy cuts in front. He's got a much easier play, and then Johnson's got to peel off to the right. So Martin has an infield hit. It's Dickerson. Dickerson just 11 for 33 this year. He's been back and forth between the big leagues and AAA. Missed that outside corner. You mentioned conviction. That's a good way to characterize what a pitcher needs to do, is just drive that ball toward that down and away corner.
And I think it all starts with your lower half. If your lower half is in a good spot, at times Brandon can get a little bit ahead of himself with his lower half, and it can be off just a tick. The body gets ahead of your arm just a little bit. And John Farrell's talking about that. He says, you know, he has to figure that out. Why balls sail away, or why he can't throw the ball where he wants to. Again, I think it all starts with your lower half. Your legs will get you into position to throw the baseball.
1-2, 2 outs. Cut on and missed. Dickerson strikes out. Brandon Morrow picks up a pair of strikeouts here in the second. Morrow is off to a good start this afternoon. Prizes from Sharp, including Canada's largest LCD TV, a 70-inch Sharp Aquos. Enter online and hit a home run with Sharp.ca. Sharp makes bigger, better. Beautiful day here in Toronto. Gorgeous sky. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better day to come out and watch the ball game. Final Sunday of the season here at Rogers Center. Good crowd on hand. Last night's crowd, 39,288.
If you can't get up for a game like today, right? I mean, it's a gorgeous day, not hot. You got the Yankees in town and a chance to take the series.
Give me your mindset if you're Adam Lind and how you might approach Freddie Garcia in this at bat.
Well, I think Freddie Garcia is going to try and throw him all kind of off-speed pitches. So I'm going to tell myself to stay back, and I'm going to try and shoot the ball to left center field. Brett Gardner, the center fielder, has been playing him in right center field. He's shifting over just a little bit now, but I wouldn't expect anything hard from Garcia. Just a lot of off-speed pitches.
There's a ball driven toward right. Swisher looking up at the wall. Gone! Adam Lind. He got that off-speed pitch and hammered it out of the ballpark. His 25th homer of the season. 1-0 Jays.
You know the difference between Adam Lind on that swing and the Lind that we have watched the last couple of weeks against off-speed pitches? He stayed back. His hands stayed back. He kept his weight back. He didn't float up onto that front foot. It looked like a splitter from Freddie Garcia. Off-speed pitch, he stayed back and then unloaded on it. Stayed on that back foot. The weight shift brought him forward. He didn't go forward and then swing. Watch the reaction from Russell Martin. He says, hey, that was a good pitch.
He's in a good spot, but Lind, thinking off-speed pitches, was able to get to it.
You know, he's a good off-speed hitter when he stays back and keeps his head behind the baseball. When he starts floating out on that front foot, he loses all his power. That time everything worked together and it was a beautiful result.
And kind of showing reaches for that off-speed pitch, and he's in a hole 0-2. 25th home run for Adam Lynn. It's his first home run against Garcia. Blue Jays are determined to make Garcia throw it over. That's the biggest thing. You start chasing those borderline pitches down, and you'll make it easy on him.
Yeah, he'll have a field day if you start going up there just hacking at everything that he throws up there. He's got an assortment of pitches, and he'll throw them anytime in the count.
One thing you don't have to worry about is Garcia beating you with the fastball. He doesn't have enough velocity, so if you really change your sights and think opposite field against him, you've got a better chance. Two and two. Garcia takes too much time, and Encarnacion asked for time.
You know what? He is not getting that split finger fastball over for strikes here. So that might be a pitch you might want to eliminate, especially early in the count.
Now, Joe Girardi knows that the Blue Jays are a very dangerous team, especially if they show patience. And Encarnacion takes a walk. Nobody out, one on. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Fielder is now tied with Dan Uggla for the second spot in the National League in home runs. Albert Pujols has 35 to lead the National League.
They've got another teammate up there with 30 home runs, don't they? Ryan Braun up there.
31 home runs for Braun. He's in the top 10. Braun also leads the National League in runs scored. Braun's got to be a strong MVP candidate. He leads the league in batting average. Got 103 RBI.
30 stolen bases too, doesn't he? 30-30 man.
31 steals, 31 homers. Pretty good all-around player.
Yeah.
Kelly Johnson with Edwin Encarnacion at first. There's a big hole there at first with Chavez holding the runner on. There goes Encarnacion. The ball is inside. Russell Martin throws a strike to second base. Encarnacion is out. Well, Russell Martin got a good pitch to throw, but he threw a strike.
Don't know if that was a hit and run that was missed. You wouldn't think that Edwin Encarnacion would have the green light, although Eddie was 8 for 9 before that in stolen bases, but he doesn't have a very big lead. He takes a look in to see what's going on. And when the ball is taken by Johnson, that's easy pickings right there for Russell Martin.
Encarnacion caught for just the second time this season. And by his reaction, it looks just to me that that was a hit and run. Like Johnson may have missed the sign. Driven down the right side, but that's going to hook foul. That's been a problem for the Blue Jays recently. Missed signs. They're not getting the signs right. They're missing bunt signs, and been frustrating for John Farrell.
Yeah, it's tough to have a running game like the Blue Jays have to have, and wanting to push the envelope and really be an aggressive type of team offensively when people are missing signs, missing bunts, making all the mistakes that they've been making on the bases.
And the element of surprise is very important. You have to catch the opponent's flat-footed. So when Farrell puts a sign on, you don't want to call attention to the runner, say, hey, did you get the sign?
Yeah.
Check with it. Hey, did you get the sign?
Or somebody steps out and says, hey, can you go through the signs again?
Yeah.
I thought I saw a hit and run there.
Johnson takes a walk, and Garcia is having trouble finding the strike zone.
Innings on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Brett Lawrie steps in the box against Garcia. Brett Lawrie has not faced Freddie Garcia before, and it's going to take him a pitch or two to really trust what he sees. One of the few fastballs that you'll get.
He might start to see some more fastballs because everything else just hasn't been able by Garcia to be thrown over the plate. He's had his 2 highest walk totals of the season against the Blue Jays. Garcia, 5 times he walked a batter. That was back on April the 29th. He also had a 4-walk game on July the 15th against Toronto, and that was in 5 innings.
Yeah, and John Fair believes that's the reason they've been able to beat Garcia. They've just been patient and haven't chased a lot of pitches. 1-0 Blue Jays lead it. A leadoff home run by Adam Lind here in the 2nd inning. And now has 25 home runs and 84 RBI. That's that chase pitch with 2 strikes. Garcia got Lawrie to go after it.
Never facing a pitcher before, and the advantage goes to the pitcher. That looked like a splitter that was way out of the strike zone, and he's going to have to take that, file it away, and remember it the next time he faces Garcia. He might show you the fastball early, but he's going to try and get you out with off-speed stuff.
Kobe Rasmus. Rasmus had a good day at the plate yesterday. Had an RBI double and a bunt single. Combined numbers between St. Louis and Toronto. This is his 120th game of the season. You just can't believe it's going to be that slow.
Yeah.
Rasmus, like Lawrie, is seeing Garcia for the first time.
Take the approach that Adam Lind looked like he took when he was at the plate. Sit on a breaking ball and just wait for it. He's going to throw you one. Have that approach about hitting the ball the other way. You know, you start thinking about trying to pull him, and that's when he really is going to do some damage to you.
Freddie Garcia broke into the big leagues in 1999 with the Seattle Mariners. As a rookie, he went 17-8. He was involved in the Randy Johnson trade. Houston getting Randy Johnson in exchange for Freddie Garcia, John Halama, and Carlos Guillen. There goes Kelly Johnson. Russell Martin's throw is high and late. Pena tried to sell it to second base umpire Jerry Meals,
but he wasn't buying. High throw. It looked like a good pitch to throw on. Shows him the high fastball. Johnson head down. He stays low, and Pena tags him up around the shoulder area. It looks like his foot might have been on the base. See the umpire look around the sliding base runner to make sure he was on the base.
Breaking ball pulled foul.
Again, a good pitch to throw on a high fastball. Martin's throw sails just a little bit, and because where he tagged him, I don't know if he's tagging him right there, but Meals calls him safe.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Another thing you have a problem with is keeping the ball fair. When you do hit it, it's so slow that oftentimes you'll pull it foul. And Garcia, he's a veteran. He knows what he's doing. He reads the bats very well. So if he sees that Rasmus is out in front, he'll go a little softer.
Yep. A little bit slower. with that. His last 2 starts, they were the starts that we were talking about. Just 7 2/3 innings, 16 hits, 4 home runs allowed, averaging 21.5 pitches per inning. That was against Baltimore and at the Los Angeles Angels. So he has had his trouble his last couple of times out there.
Rasmus stayed on that pitch. It was away. Freddie Garcia is winless in his last 5 starts here at Rogers Center, going back to the start of the 2001 season. Kelly Johnson walked and stole second. See that fastball when he does throw it, oftentimes he's going to throw it out of the zone. He just wants you to chase.
With pitchers like this, you could almost wait until he releases the ball before you start your stride. A lot of times you want to get started a little bit early as he's in his windup or as he's going out of the stretch. Guys with this type of off-speed stuff, you got to tell yourself to stay back.
Right off the end of the bat, you see Rasmus is fighting himself, trying to stay back, but it's a challenge. Garcia, as Pat mentioned earlier, was once a power pitcher. Downhill fastball, good biting breaking ball.
Yeah, his curveball wasn't the slow hook that it is today. It was a biter and a strikeout pitch. And then he started throwing that splitter, which was hard. His fastball was 95 plus. He's had to reinvent himself.
Rasmus pops it up. Alex Rodriguez in foul territory, gets there, and Freddie Garcia pitches around a couple of walks, but Adam Lynn gets things going for the Blue Jays. He stays back and goes down and gets a very good split finger pitch and knocks it out of the ballpark. As the outfield coach plus the first base coach, so you know he's not talking outfield to Kelly Johnson.
I think it has something to do with his lead and the way he was breaking. Maybe something in Freddie Garcia's throw over to first base or something that he does. There was also the hit and run that was, possibly missed by Johnson. He was the hitter, so there's all kind of things that they're talking about in between innings.
When you put a hit and run on, it's all about the count, what you expect from the pitcher. Chances are you're going to get a pitch to put in play, and timing is critical on pulling it off. Romeo Pena pops it over near the seats, and Laurie runs out of room. 1-0 Blue Jays late it. Adam Lynn with the home run has put the Jays on top. Romeo Pena, you see, he's only played 16 games. He had an appendectomy most recently and was on the DL, activated. Very valuable player. He can play all the infield positions.
Yeah, good fielder. He was on the team all of last year. Would spell Derek Jeter at shortstop when the captain needed a day off. Known for his glove, not really known for his bat.
But he has done well against Morrow despite his 0 for his last 24. Against Morrow, he's 4 for 7. Isn't that interesting how that works out? You can have a very talented pitcher like Brandon Morrow and a guy that's not known for his bat, but for some reason he has success against hard throwing Brandon Morrow.
Maybe he just throws him fastballs. And, you know, a hitter, you're not expecting this guy to get a hit as he fouls that one off his foot. So you just challenge him with fastballs. Well, maybe now you have to change it up after he's put up some good at bats against you.
There's a fastball fouled out of play. Another thing that factors in, and speaking as a catcher, you look at this lineup and you say, okay, Gardner, Nunez, A-Rod, Jeter, okay, Pena, I can get him out.
Yeah. I'm not going to throw him any breaking balls. I better throw him some fastballs because I don't want him to get on.
Another foul right off the top of that foot. That slider is eating Pena up right now. One thing that helps Pena this afternoon is Brett Gardner is batting behind him in the leadoff spot, and Gardner has just owned the Blue Jays this season. So you know you got to go after Pena.
Yeah, he knows that you don't want to walk him.
And he didn't. There's another one of those good fastballs down and away, and Pena couldn't pull the trigger.
If he has that pitch where he can put that right where he wants to against the left-handers, it's going to be a long afternoon for those left-handed hitters. That is almost an impossible pitch to hit.
So Brett Gardner, we mentioned he's in the leadoff spot today with Jeter getting the day off. Brett Laurie at third has come in even with the bag to guard against the bunt. Just foul outside of first. The captain with the off day. Yankees, as we mentioned, are in a stretch of 3 consecutive day games. They have a makeup game tomorrow at Yankee Stadium against Minnesota. That'll be an afternoon start. So with yesterday's day game, today 3 in a row, and get a chance to get some of the older legs off their feet for a ball game, at least the start of this one. Off speed pitch, and Gardner is in a hole 0-2.
Yankees lost a couple of their off days this month because of makeup days. Again, they are on a 11-day, 10-game road trip that's finishing up here this afternoon. And they were going to have an off day tomorrow, but now they've got to make that game up.
They have a makeup game on Monday. I mentioned that one against Minnesota, and then Tampa Bay comes to town Tuesday night. How about a split doubleheader on Wednesday and another night game on Thursday,
which was originally another off day for the Yankees. Not so.
2-2. That being said, the Yankees are in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
You look at their situation, they're 4.5 games ahead of the second place Boston Red Sox. But at the same time, you'd like to be playing good baseball when the postseason comes around. Well, Morrow jumped ahead 0-2, and now here's the full count.
Yeah, that's what Brett Gardner does. You know, you were talking yesterday about Curtis Granderson seeing a lot of pitches. Brett Gardner's right up there also with seeing a lot of pitches per plate appearance. Really makes that pitcher work.
And right back to the bread and butter. Fastball away. Gardner thought it might have been off the plate. That's why he checked with the home plate umpire, but it's back-to-back strikeouts. That's 3 in a row now for Brandon Morrow.
And 4 out of the last 5. The left-handers again, they're on that outside part of the plate against the lefties. Just can't get to it when he throws it that hard.
Eduardo Nunez, a first ball fastball hitter. And that was upstairs. Looked like a cut fastball that sailed away. He's looking fastball all the time, sitting dead red, and that time he got a slider.
We were talking about that in the scouting report about using all of your options. That looked like he took a little something off the pitch and had him way out in front.
This is line to left field. Thames is on the run, makes a nice catch. He held on to it. Well, Eric Thames has improved dramatically since the start of the season. His defensive skills are really improving. Takes extra bases away from Eduardo Nunez. Great concentration. And he hangs on. Adjustments and improvements in the outfield.
Yeah, playing a little bit deeper, and that'll allow him to get to this ball as he runs right through it. He made a catch in Boston where he went to the foul line and laid out and made a catch and got dirty. Makes a good path after this one and lays out. Watch the ball slicing and hooking on him. And he ends the third inning with a great catch.
By his own admission, coming through the minor leagues, Thames said, hey, I was just worried about the bat. And then I got the big leagues, and everybody said, man, you got to be a two-way player. And to his credit, he's put in a lot of time.
I mean, this is just all-out sheer effort as he reaches up to snag that ball. That could have been 2, maybe 3 with the way Nunez runs. And there's the happiest guy is Brandon Morrow.
J.P. Arancibia pulls it foul. One thing that has happened here in the second half of the season is the competition has gone up. We've seen Adam Loam come to the big leagues. He's an outfielder that's had a couple of big hits for the Jays. And Colby Rasmus is back from the disabled list. And there's just a lot of good things going on with this club right now. And the talent level has improved dramatically.
And you throw that type of competition out there, and you know the strong survive.
There's a good off-speed pitch down and away, and Arancibia strikes out. Second strikeout for Garcia.
Another off-speed pitch. You can see the grip inside his glove. That's the splitter. And it tumbles. Doesn't really have that hard break to it. It's a changeup that tumbles. So pitchers like to use that in strikeout situations. You have to recognize it. You have to see it out of his hand.
What do you look for?
You know what I would look for? I would look for the tumble, the rotation on the baseball. But I would see if I could try and pick it up out of his hand. If he really stays on top of it, he's throwing a lot of breaking balls. You know, his curveball, you can see his hand might be on the side of the baseball. And that splitter, his hand might be behind the baseball. And you can see it.
Yeah, the subtleties of good hitters that when they step into a box and you need to get a little bit of information, you'll look at the hand once it starts toward the plate.
You know, they always talk about, okay, the box above his right shoulder and everything like that. Well, you're not looking at the box. You're looking at his hand, where the hand is, so you can pick up the baseball. Find the rotation, you know, all those little subtleties that will give you information that you could maybe steal a pitch here or there.
Another breaking ball, and Garcia strikes out McCoy. So talk a little bit about what you might see out of the hand of Garcia.
Well, there are pitchers that when they throw the fastball, their hand is behind it like this. If they throw a curveball, their hand could be on the side, and those are the kind of things that you can see. You can see this coming at you, and you can pick that up. Or if you don't see the hand on the side, if it's like this, you see it behind it, you see all baseball, then you know it's probably a fastball, or the splitter with his fingers like that. Those are the kind of little things that you can pick up as you're standing in the batter's box.
Yeah, and it's really important. If you can do that once, maybe twice during the course of a game, it could be a difference between a hit and going 0 for 4. Driving a big run. Eric Thames, ball on the strike. One of the best I've ever seen, and you played with him as well, was George Brett. He could see that ball and could tell if it's more ball or less ball, which the pitch was going to be. Ball was hammered but foul down the right side.
And it's all about paying attention, you know, staying alert, watching, you know, everything that the pitcher does out on that mound, and maybe you can pick some stuff like that up.
Don't you also think it's about communication and conversation? Talking
Certainly.
to hitters that hit a pitcher well. Ground ball. Nunez has it. Thames is retired. Good inning for Freddie Garcia. 1, 2, 3 in the third. The Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. We want to give our congratulations to the New Hampshire Fisher Cats, the champions of the Eastern League. They won the series 3-1 last night. Sal Fasano, in his first year in AA, did a great job with that team. And how about the talent on that team?
Yeah, we've been hearing it all season long from scouts that have gone in and watched the AA team, and they come back here and we run into them at the ballpark, and they say Blue Jays have a loaded team in AA. Some very good prospects that you'll be seeing probably here in the next couple of years.
Henderson Alvarez pitched at AA most of the season. He started 2 games in the Florida State League, then was promoted to AA. So he was a big part of that championship. He's going to have a great feeling about that. Robinson Cano drives it to left. Thames on the track. Right up against the wall. Makes a good catch. Cano's retired.
You know, there was some thought that there might be some of those players from that AA team possibly coming here to Toronto to finish out the season, but because they've gone so late into the season, there's only 10 games left, they are not going to come up here. They're all going to meet back in spring training in March, February and March. but there's no question there are some good players.
Paul Beeston, Cito Gaston, Alex Anthopoulos, I'm sure have been very proud of what the minor leagues has done this year. Minor league they've had a great season. Vancouver won the Northwest League championship.
You know, you have to develop players. That's the #1 goal for your minor league system, is develop players. But I think 1A, if you will, is develop a winning attitude. And I think this year has shown that the Blue Jays are starting to develop that type of winning atmosphere in their minor league system.
Pitch up and in on Rodriguez. It's a reaction every time Alex Rodriguez steps into the batter's box. It gets a reaction. That ball looked like a breaking ball that slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, they wanted to go down and away, and it just went up and in.
Underneath that ball again. That was another breaking ball that just spun out of his hand.
You know, that's the difference between the fastballs that we saw that he threw with conviction to the outside corner to those lefties, and a pitch where he said, okay, I'm just going to guide it to the outside part of the plate instead of just throwing it there.
Breaking ball. Rodriguez reached for it down away. Bautista using that glove to shield his eyes. Makes the catch. 2 outs. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Things are getting very dicey in the AL wild card race. David Price is 6-3 in 9 starts against the Red Sox. Johnny Damon with that big hit drives in a run. He has 4 career home runs against Tim Wakefield. He's now driven in 11 runs. Evan Longoria also hits Wakefield very well. Tampa Bay has gone into the Red Sox house and put the pressure on. Johnny Damon, there's an interesting note about Damon, and we'll get to that a little bit later. 2 outs. Nick Swisher drives this ball to left field. They're picking on Eric Thames, and he is up for the challenge. 3 up, 3 down for Morrow in the 4th. Run in the 4th inning. Someone will win a 40-inch Aquos Quattron TV and Blu-ray player. To enter, visit Hit a Home Run with Sharp.ca. Sharp Aquos makes bigger, better. Adam Lind has already hit a home run here this afternoon. It'll be Bautista, Lind, Encarnacion. The 3 have hit 82 home runs this year. Of course, Bautista leads the majors with 42.
We were standing around talking about Jose Bautista before the game today and what he means to this ball club. And it's not all reflected in the numbers that he has put up this year. The little subtleties that he has done to help the club inside the clubhouse, helping young players, we've seen that. There's so much that we don't see from the outside looking in.
John Farrell was very appreciative of everything Bautista does, the things you don't see on the field. Drives this ball deep but foul. Farrell was quick to point out the numbers don't show the leadership skills. And Bautista is truly a team player. He said he always puts the team ahead of himself. And John felt that firsthand in Boston in the third inning last week when Bautista came to him in the dugout and says, listen, if you need me to play center, I'll do it right now. Popped up on the infield. Pena, the shortstop, calls for it, and Bautista's retired. Adam Lynn hit his 25th home run in his first at bat. Take a look at the combined home runs by teammates over the last 2 seasons, and Bautista and Lynn, they lead the pack.
That's a pretty potent 1-2 punch right there. Everybody talks about Pujols and Holiday, Votto and Bruce, Teixeira and Granderson. They certainly have been. They've had 2 great years, but these two, Bautista and Lynn, better than anybody in all of baseball. One right-handed and one left-handed.
You know, it's really unfortunate, too, because we see them all the time. And you see Lynn's average at 257. But remember, he missed almost a month in the month of May with back problems. A result of his moving from the outfield and DH to first base. A lot more activity, tougher strain on your core of your body.
There was also a couple of weeks where he just didn't hit anything. So his numbers, the 25 home runs and the 84 RBIs, basically missed 6 weeks of the season. Those are pretty good.
Pretty good accomplishment.
I think he'd be a lock for 30 and 100 if he didn't miss that month and then went into a really cold spell.
Last year, Adam Lynn hit 23 home runs and drove in 72 in what was a down season, obviously. His career high 35 home runs and 114 ribbies. That came in 2009. Silver Slugger is the DH in the American League. Drives this ball to center field. Brett Gardner giving a look at the wall. It is gone. Second home run of the afternoon for Adam Lynn.
Ten times now that a Blue Jays had a multi-home run game this season. The first one he hit really well. This one he smokes. Looked like another pitch that was down. And no chance for Gardner to run this one down. He just runs out of real estate. Deep in right center field. Lynn puts the Blue Jays up 2-0. That is his third multi-home run game this year.
Edwin Encarnacion bounces this ball through the infield into center. For Lynn, that's his 7th career multi-hit game. Pat mentioned his 3rd this season. Thanks to that Toronto home run by Adam Lynn, Sharp is awarded one lucky winner, a 40-inch Aquos Quadtron TV and Blu-ray player. Sharp Aquos makes bigger better. To see if you have one, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Kelly Johnson walked back in the 2nd inning. Got to be a little bit better feeling in your 2nd at bat against Garcia, having a better idea about just how soft the pitches might be.
I'd like to see him take a shot and pull one through that hole on the right side. Ooh, he was thinking about it.
He hooked it foul. Holding the runner on at first, Chavez's range is really cut down. He's got to wait till Garcia moves toward the plate, and then he breaks off at first. Encarnacion on for a second time. He was thrown out trying to steal back in the second inning. Might have been a missed hit and run. Blue Jays are doing a good job of taking those borderline pitches.
That's where he has to live, out on the edges. There's Garcia. You don't have to swing at him. I think they might put something on here, try to get something moving.
You expect him to throw a strike. Not going. Way outside, 3-1. Yeah, right now he's struggling, so you might just let Johnson hit. If you put the hit and run on, you're going to force him to expand his zone. He might have to chase a bad pitch.
He's got extra base pop in his bat. He has shown that since he's come over from Arizona, so he can score that runner from first base with a hit.
Just when you think you have Garcia all set up, he backs off the pitch.
And Johnson has to back out and think about it.
Encarnacion at first, full count, 1 out. There goes the runner. Bouncing ball towards second. That'll keep the Jays out of a double play. They started the runner at first. Johnson's retired, but Encarnacion moves to second.
Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Brett Laurie chased a splitter down and away and struck out back in the second inning. Garcia and Russell Martin have had problems getting on the same page, and that's understandable given how many different pitches that Garcia will throw. Garcia has such a wide assortment of pitches. He's got a completely different idea in his head as to what he wants to throw.
That's one thing that really endeared those pitchers, I guess, if you want to call it that, in spring training when Russell Martin came over here. He went out with them, he talked about them, he took the time to learn his pitching staff, their strengths, their weaknesses, like what they like to do. And the pitchers love throwing to him.
That looked like a straight changeup there. Laurie was out in front of him. You know, pitchers are very into their own style, and if you ask a pitcher to do something he's not comfortable doing, he's not going to have success. So you have to understand what he believes in.
And it's a bond between the pitcher and the catcher that day. Pitcher has confidence in the catcher that he's going to put down and go along with the same type of game plan. You're not going to call the game the same way with Freddie Garcia on the mound as you are with Bartolo Colon, who we saw yesterday.
Another off-speed pitch, another strikeout for Brett Laurie. Freddie Garcia has had problems with Adam Lynn. 2 home runs for Lynn. It's 2-0 Blue Jays. Now it's time for a Jays Connected update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn from the Blackberry Broadcast Studio here at Rogers Center. Welcome to Rogers Center. Hope you're having a great day on a gorgeous afternoon here at the ballpark. And the Blue Jays, behind 2 Adam Lind home runs, have taken a 2-0 lead, trying to win the series against the Yankees. Yankees on this trip so far are 4-5. They lost a game in Baltimore, a makeup game, went out to play the Angels, went 1-2 in that series. Took 2 of 3 from the Mariners, and so far have split the first 2 games here.
And they've been tough games. I mean, really well played games. The Yankees have played a lot of one-run games on this road trip.
They have lost 4 one-run games on this trip. Chavez hits one off the end of the bat. Easy play for Kelly Johnson. 1 out here in the 5th.
9 of their last 12 games have been decided by 1 run. 10 out of their last 15 games have been 1-run games. So, you know, every pitch becomes important when you're playing those tight games here in September.
Well, and you too know that when the Yankees come to town, everybody gets up for it. They're just, you know, gives you a sense of pride. You can beat the best. They lead the American League. And they've always had all-stars and perennial postseason players, so you want to make sure you put your best face on and take them on, and it's been a tough trip for them.
A giant bullseye right on their back. That's what it's about when you play for the Yankees. Everybody wants to knock you off. Joe Girardi knows that.
Yankees have the best record in the American League, second best record in baseball. Philadelphia, with their 98th win, clinched the division. Congratulations to the Phillies. How about Roy Oswalt? Bouncing back last couple of starts and might be pitching his way back into the postseason.
Yeah, you heard rumblings about that a week or so ago about he might not make the starting rotation in the first round.
Vance Worley was mentioned as he's pitched well. The rookie has really done a good job filling in for Joe Blanton. No worries about the top 3 in that rotation. Roy Halladay, Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels. Well, they've all had great years.
Cy Youngs, MVPs. They've all pitched in the playoffs. They all know what that's all about.
Nothing but Powder River right there. Good fastball. 2 outs here in the 5th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Jared Weaver on the mound for the Angels. There is some talk that Jared Weaver is going to come back on short rest and pitch the final game in this upcoming 4-game series on Thursday. Alfredo Simon is the starter for the Orioles. Orioles have played the spoiler role of late.
How about the Orioles? They've won 4 in a row. Everybody says, well, you know, they're playing the Orioles, they'll be fine, and they've been pounding them the last couple of days.
Chris Dickerson fouls this ball out of play. Now the Red Sox nation is saying, oh, don't worry, we play the Orioles 7 times down the stretch. That might not be a good thing. Orioles have some dangerous bats.
Yeah.
Mark Reynolds, 33 home runs. Jones has been back and forth out of the lineup. He's been banged up lately. 0-2. Come out. Back-to-back strikeouts ends the 5th inning. Brandon Morrow has K'd 6 Yankees here this afternoon. High fastball against Chris Dickerson. He's retired 10 straight. pitch if he concentrates on the pitcher's hand. Here's a great example.
The one on the far left, that looks like a slider from Freddie Garcia, and you can see the fingers in the middle picture right behind the baseball, showing the hitter the whole baseball with his hands behind it. That's a fastball. You can see the split grip on the right, and certainly a good hitter, when he is concentrating in that release point, can pick that up.
And you can see the difference in the area of the baseball that you could see, and that's what the hitter's looking for. How much of that baseball can I see? Might see half of it with a breaking ball, the whole thing with the fastball. Colby Erasmus drives this ball to center field, but Gardner gets turned around and makes the catch.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
J.P. Arencibia struck out in his first at bat. There's a fastball strike. Arencibia has done a much better job in the second half of the season looking for off-speed pitches and thinking about staying back. And because of that, he's hit a few more home runs on breaking balls.
I think a lot of that has to do with him just knowing the league just a little bit more, and pitchers knowing what they're trying to do to him. He's a smart guy. I mean, you sit around and you talk to him, and he's got some definite ideas about certain things, and you know, he's not a mechanical guy out there. He's thinking things through, and you can see him make the adjustments to what the pitchers are trying to do to him.
Yeah, JP is going to get better and better, not only at the plate, but especially behind the plate.
I like what he was telling us the other day when he was facing Kevin Gregg. Yeah, he caught Kevin Gregg last year, and he knew that in tough situations, Gregg says, I like to throw a lot of breaking balls to right-handed hitters. He knew that. He threw him a breaking ball, and JP got the game-winning hit to left field. I mean, that's what it is about thinking your way through at bat.
Garcia throws it way outside. It's a one-out walk to the number 9 hitter. Third walk of the afternoon issued by Garcia. Mike McCoy. McCoy had a 3-hit game in the opener of this series. His first 3-hit game of this season, second of his career. Then he had a 3 RBI game yesterday afternoon. Had a sacrifice bunt for an RBI in the second. Drove in 2 with a clutch opposite field double over the head of Nick Swisher in right.
Yeah, I think he surprised the Yankee outfielders with his pop, thinking that he might be just a punch and Judy type hitter. Scalded that ball to right field.
Bunts this one. Garcia off the mound barehanded and throws it away. And it gets away from Chavez and Nunez, and Arencibia will end up at third. McCoy gets credited with a bunt base hit. Garcia is charged with the error that allowed Arencibia to end up at third. It's the first error for Garcia this season.
Gets off the mound very quickly, barehands it, tries to throw it all in one motion from his back leg from down under, a little Laredo, and that ball really takes off on him. Didn't really have a shot at getting McCoy, I think, at first base. You can see when the ball arrives at first, he's already on the bag. Ill-advised throw by Garcia.
Good bunt by McCoy. And put it in a perfect spot. Blue Jays have something cooking here in the bottom of the 5th.
This is where Eric Thames really needs to keyhole Garcia right here. Make sure that he throws him a pitch that he can handle. He had a great round of batting practice today if you watch him. He was very aggressive and hitting the ball with authority.
Oftentimes, young hitters will get over anxious in these situations. There's an easy RBI at third to get the ball in the air. And instead of just waiting for a pitch you can really drive, you just think swing at the first thing you see. That first pitch was borderline up.
Yeah, what he should be thinking is strike. I'm going to find a strike early in the count and put a good swing on it. This isn't the time to think about lofting the ball or uppercutting or where your hands are. This is about concentrating on the baseball right here and getting a strike.
He gets a strike and drills it to center. Brett Gardner back on the track, makes the catch. Aaron Seavey will jog home on a long sacrifice fly off the bat of Eric Thames. Job well done.
That's how you do it right there. Perfect approach at the plate. You don't give in too early. You don't get out on that front foot. You stay back. You look for a strike, and then you just try and hit it hard. He does all that. He gets the pitch out in front and then drills it to center.
Good job by Eric Thames. He picks up his 33rd ribby of the season. It's 3-0 Blue Jays. Mike McCoy at first with 2 outs. We mentioned Garcia throws an awful lot of slow pitches, a lot of slow breaking balls and splitters. It's a good time for McCoy to be aggressive at first, try to get into scoring position for Bautista. Bautista rips it to left field. 2-out base hit, first and second for Adam Lind. He's already homered twice.
He's in scoring position now. Just took a couple of pitches. And Bautista ripped it. Russell Martin's going to go out and talk to Garcia. They just got a left-hander up. He's only thrown 3 or 4 pitches. This is to buy some time here if Joe Girardi wants to make a pitching change. Russell Martin goes out there. There's the left-hander. That's Aaron Laffey.
You can see Mike Harkey, the bullpen coach, has his hat off. That's the universal sign for my pitcher's ready. And here comes Joe Girardi, and Freddie Garcia is not going to get a chance to work to Adam Lind for a 3rd time. Girardi very deliberate in his walk to the mound, takes the ball from Garcia. Aaron Laffey was the winner in yesterday's game. He'll come on to face Adam Lind when we come back. Lind with 2 homers already. Show off Freddie Garcia.
2 very good approaches at the plate and 2 at-bats for Lind. Staying back on that splitter. Wasn't a bad pitch from Garcia, but it was down and he was able to stay down and go down and get it. And that's his 2nd home run now for Lind. His 3rd multi-home run game of the season. And now he gets to hit with a couple of runners on.
They mentioned Lynn with his 7th career multi-home run game. He's had a 3-home run game. September 29th, 2009 at Boston. Aaron Laffey was the winning pitcher in yesterday's game. Freddie Garcia out of the ball game. So far he's given up 3 runs. The 2 runners on base are his responsibility. Ball inside. Lynn has a home run against Laffey. 1 for 5. Big sweeping breaking ball.
You know, your first 2 times up, you get a couple of hits. You're just so much more relaxed when you're at the plate for that 3rd at bat. You're not jumping at the ball. You're just seeing it before you stride.
2 balls, no strikes. Tough pitch down and away. Laffey has shown that he's going to throw left-handers away. He's not going to come inside and mess with that inner half of the plate.
No, unless he makes a mistake, he'll stay away, and that's where Lynn can hurt you. Again, he can hit the ball the other way.
3-1. McCoy's at second and a bunt base hit. Bautista singled to left. He's at first. Encarnacion on deck. He's been on base twice already. Three and 2. Luis Ayala has really thrown the ball well for the Yankees. He is loose and standing by.
With the expanded rosters, they've got plenty of pitching down there, and if you want to get those matchups, the lefty-lefty matchups and so on through, the Blue Jays have better balance now in their lineup. Going to make it tough on Joe Girardi.
Breaking ball, the runners were going, and the bases are loaded.
What happens when you've got this type of balance, you really put the manager, the opposing manager, on the defense. He's got to think about just one batter per pitcher. And that's what Girardi looks like he's going to do to try and get out of this inning.
He's got Ayala hot, ready to come into the ball game. Laffey was given the assignment of retire the left-hander. He didn't do that. Luis Ayala will face Edwin Encarnacion when we come back. Of this series, he faced one batter. On Friday night, that one batter was Edwin Encarnacion, and he lined out to center.
And he gets another chance at Encarnacion. You see Ayala now in his 7th season in the big leagues at ERA 179, good for 3rd best in the American League for relievers. Sinker slider type.
Ayala comes in with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Means the bases are loaded. We're only a grand slam away from awarding a 70-inch Sharp Aquas Quattron TV. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Blue Jays, as a team, have hit 4 grand slams this season. First pitch strike. Encarnacion has hit 3 grand slams, and he's hit very well with the bases loaded, a .326 average. A good sinking fastball runs off the plate inside.
Yeah, 90 miles an hour with that sinker. He's also got a little bit of a slider. Encarnacion really not giving in to Ayala. You can see him trying to keep that front shoulder closed, looking to hit it back through the middle.
There's that flat slider that runs off the plate away.
Not a good stat if you're a reliever coming in with runners on base. It's got to be a little bit higher.
2-2. Yankees really used their bullpen effectively in yesterday's game. They used 5 relievers. 1 inning apiece. Breaking ball. Hit into center field, and Brett Gardner is over in the gap. And Ayala bails out Freddie Garcia, but the Blue Jays have a 3-0 lead. A tough record going back to 2001. Today he goes 4 2/3, gives up 5 hits, but Ayala saved him 3 runs.
Yeah, on the fly ball with the bases loaded, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks this afternoon. 94 pitches to get through 4 2/3 innings. Have to be almost perfect the way that Brandon Morrow has been throwing this afternoon against the Yankees. He has now thrown 5 innings, given up just 2 hits, 6 strikeouts, and 1 walk. He is commanding his fastball, is starting to use his breaking ball just a little bit more here the last couple of innings to get strikeouts.
After 22 pitches in the first inning, he's been economical. He is set to work here in the 6th. some reason, the umpires called time, and I'm not sure if the security people were completely off the field. But now we're set. Romeo Pena getting the start at shortstop today. He struck out looking in the third inning.
That was a long inning. That Brandon Morrow was sitting down while the Blue Jays hit last half inning. Couple pitching changes. You had a couple of walks. Sacrifice fly. Now you've got to get back out there and get the juices flowing once again.
Pumps that fastball in there for a strike. Morrow has retired 10 straight. Russell Martin had an infield single back in the second. He was the last batter to reach.
A couple of infield singles. That's been it for the Yankees. Nunez got one in the first inning.
Bouncing ball. Third base side of the mound. What a play by Brandon Morrow. Wow. Got off the mound in good shape, but really couldn't get a lot on the throw, and he threw a strike to first.
You know, the thing that scares you when your pitcher has to come off the mound, watch how he fields and has to, in one motion, kind of flick it like an infielder. Right there. You worry about him pulling a muscle or something, but that's a great play. Stays right with it and throws a strike over to first base.
Blue Jays have been sharp on defense the last couple of days. Eric Thames has made a couple of good catches here in the outfield. Morrow helped himself out there with that good defensive play. Back to the top of the order. Brett Gardner. (3-0) Blue Jays lead.
Infield's going to shorten up with Gardner. Yankees trying to get something started up against Brandon Morrow. You can see the right side of the infield shortening up, expecting a bunt.
Foul back, ball on the strike. It's been pretty consistent for Morrow. Domination early on. The hitters catch up to him. Second time through the order, and he's always had trouble third time through the order, 6th, 7th inning. But he's working now with just 80 pitches under his belt. Should have plenty left.
Yeah, a couple of more innings like he's had the last few. Short, make them hit their way on, throw strikes, put the pressure on the offensive team to beat you.
One thing we haven't seen from Morrow all afternoon is any of those high fastballs just up and out of the zone. When he throws the fastball, most of the time it's been right around the knees.
And that has been because his lower half is now working together with his upper half, driving towards the home plate.
Popped into left field. Thames was shallow. Gardner's retired. Brandon Morrow has 6 Ks here this afternoon, and he's always overpowered the Yankees.
Watch the quality of pitches, of where they are with how much fastball steam he has on them. Look at that, painting the outside corners against the lefty. And just continues to zero in there. It's not how hard you throw it, it's where you throw it, the quality of the type of pitch, and Morrow certainly has had that through 5 2/3 today.
Gets ahead of Nunez with a fast pitch strike. Nunez has one of the 2 hits. Way out in front of home. Robinson Cano is on deck. Cano is batting third this afternoon. He is also in the DH slot. Yankees trail 3-0. Final game of a long road trip. 11 days, 10 games.
Down with that slider. Some days you just have that release point and it just feels good coming out of your hand.
Base hit into right field. Nunez reaches. Now they throw the ball behind him. Encarnacion goes to second. Good play. Everybody playing with their heads up today except Nunez. He got caught flat-footed. Bautista threw the ball behind the base runner at first. Encarnacion was heads up. He threw a strike to Mike McCoy at second. Bautista will pick up another outfield assist. Bautista nonchalant throws behind the runner, and Nunez is gunned down at second. Hit to right. Remember, he's batting ahead of Robinson Cano, and here he gets caught off base.
Well, I don't know if he got in between out there. I know you want to take a good hard turn, but you don't want to get caught out in no man's land. Down by 3 runs and a great hitter coming up behind you.
Yeah, that's a huge mistake to be thrown out at second with Cano coming to the plate and Rodriguez right behind him.
A heads up play by Jose Bautista to throw behind him to create something there. Yeah, I don't know if he saw something before, maybe the last time he got a hit. He takes a quick glance and then acts like he's going to throw to second and then throws behind him and gets him. And that certainly helps Brandon Morrow keep that pitch count down.
The pitch count, and in fact, Morrow would have been working out of the stretch to Robinson Cano with the possibility of Alex Rodriguez coming to the plate. Luis Ayala. It's Kelly Johnson to chase that pitch down and away. Ayala retired Edwin Encarnacion to end the Blue Jays' 5th. Another good sinking fastball off the plate away. Kelly Johnson strikes out. You can see Steve Donahue, the assistant trainer with the Yankees, has a walkie-talkie in his hand on the dugout. And oftentimes that would be frowned upon, but you can see the walkie-talkie in the bullpen. The Yankees bullpen phone is shut down. It's not working. The Yankees brought it to the umpire's attention, and they have been allowed to utilize the walkie-talkie, so that's how they will communicate back and forth. Dale Scott, the first base umpire, is the crew chief. He's talking with the home plate umpire, Dan Iasonia, and making sure everybody understands what's up here. Phone. Earlier, we saw the engineers working on that phone in the bullpen, and then they replaced that phone with the walkie-talkies. Not unusual. It happens from time to time, and you just have to let both managers understand what the situation is. That Laurie lines to Ramiro Pena at shortstop.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Kobe Rasmus, be happy to see anybody on the mound other than Freddie Garcia. Garcia gave him a steady diet of off-speed pitches. Rasmus had a pair of hits in yesterday's game. Ayala's got a lot of movement with his fastball, and he'll use it to both sides of the plate.
Take something off on that fastball too. He could sink it a little bit. He was a very good reliever before he hurt his arm, and he hurt it in the WBC 5 years ago. He had the Tommy John surgery. It happened right on the mound, didn't it?
Sure did. Threw a pitch to Alex Rodriguez and walked off the mound. Ayala retires all 4 batters he's faced here this afternoon. He's keeping the Yankees right in the middle of this ball game. 3-0 Blue Jays behind Brandon Morrow. Tickets are now on sale. You can purchase your 2012 tickets by December 2nd and receive a Blue Jays authentic jersey, a $100 gift card at Jays Shop, and a 1-year subscription to the new Sportsnet magazine. Receive great gift benefits and exclusive season ticket holder events all season long. Call the Blue Jays directly at 416-341-1234. Or you can log on to BlueJays.com and get set for the 2012 baseball season. A lot of good things going on with the young players here with the Blue Jays. Robinson Cano lines it right to Jose Bautista. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 7th. Great crowd here on hand the last Sunday of the regular season for the Blue Jays. 34,657 in attendance. Yesterday afternoon, 39,000 here at Rogers Center. Always a good turnout for the Yankees when they're in town. Love them or hate them, they create interest.
Yeah, they certainly do. Hotels are always packed. The restaurants are packed when the Yankees, Red Sox are in town. Fan Appreciation Day this afternoon, so they're giving away a lot of jerseys of the Blue Jays. I think the promotion is the jersey off our backs promotion. Fans here are getting those this afternoon.
Alex Rodriguez has flied to right twice. Pops this one into center field. Colby Erasmus drifts under it. 2 down. Hey, Rothschild talking to Mike Harkey, the bullpen coach down there. Probably not real businesslike right now.
Didn't look like it.
Probably got a 10-4, Charlie.
Yeah. Little double nickels.
Nick Swisher. He's lined out twice. And breaking ball for a strike.
One thing that Brandon Morrow has been doing a little bit better this afternoon than what we've seen his last couple of starts. Pitching just a little bit more. Using that curveball to get it over and early in the count. We have seen him throw a couple of more changeups this afternoon.
He's been in control. In control of his delivery, in control of the strike zone, and in control of the Yankees. Oh, 0-2 to Swisher. He stays alive.
That one looked like it hurt Nick Swisher on that swing. That right wrist. This has been a pitch that's been real good for Morrow this afternoon. To the lefties. Fastball down and away. And Swisher just loses the bat. He was shaking his wrist after that.
Yeah, it looked like that wrist really bent back awkwardly. Another 0-2 pitch. Got it. Got a piece of it. He fouled it off and bounced it in the dirt. Swisher stays alive.
Just got a piece of this breaking ball. Just nicked it.
Came right back with the same pitch. It's 1-2. You mentioned Brandon Morrow had not won since August 17th, and he needed an outing like this just to regain his confidence. He was frustrated by his inability to shut down the opponents. Makes another good pitch with the fastball.
Talked about that after his last time. He knows that it's been a rough stretch and how it's been wearing on him. He says he goes out there every 5 days. He says he feels good, and he feels like that day is going to be the day that he puts it all behind him. Today, he has done that. He has made pitches.
Swisher laid off that hard slider. It's 2-2. Morrow, after a early battle with a pitch count issue, has thrown 97 pitches. He's in pretty good shape with 2 outs in the 7th. Bruce Walton always targets 18 to 21 outs from his starters. That's the goal. Get your starter through the 7th. That's ideal. And then the bullpen can worry about the last 6 outs. Swisher couldn't check that time. And Cedia will tag him out. That's the 7th strikeout of the afternoon for Brandon Morrow. Dominating the Yankees on just 3 hits. Sharp by visiting the new Hit a Home Run with Sharp Facebook page. It's a great opportunities to win beautiful prizes from Sharp. Yankee bullpen has been very good in this series. New pitcher will be Scott Proctor, part of that 5-man bullpen effort yesterday. Then we had 5 relievers go an inning apiece, and they no-hit the Blue Jays for the final 5 innings of that game. Catcher J.P. Arancibia. Then back to the top of the order, Mike McCoy and Eric Thames. Blue Jays lead it 3-0. Arancibia drives it to left field. Dickerson got a late break. This ball is off the wall. Arancibia was headed for second, and JP starts things off with his 19th double of the season. Proctor saying that was too much of the middle.
Too much. Arancibia, for a number 9 hitter, has got great numbers when he hits 9th in the lineup. Second time that he will get on base this afternoon. Ball down and in. He drives it over the head of Dickerson. That ball took off on him also. Dickerson cut across the field, but it was over his head easily. And now this situation screaming for a bunt from McCoy.
McCoy squares and bunts it right in front of home plate. Russell Martin thought about third, but McCoy gets the job done. Arancibia moves over to third with 1 out.
Get those add-on runs late in the game. 1 here, 1 there. You're right. Martin was thinking about trying to come up with the ball, but it didn't look like he grabbed it cleanly when he reached down with his bare hand. So he just took the out at first base. Now the infield has to come in. Same approach right here for Eric Thames as his last at bat.
I think big part of the diamond. He picked up a sac fly back in the 5th. Thames has to realize who's hitting behind him. Jose Bautista. And you've got to be patient and selective and get a strike to hit.
That's the most important thing, is get a strike. Like, that wasn't a strike. It was up and in, and not a good idea. And he knows it too. You see him kind of shake his head like, instead of hitting 2-0, now I'm hitting 1-1.
It's a great opportunity for a young hitter to drive in a run. Infield is drawn in. That's the pitch you wanted right there. That strike fastball. Now it's all about battling Scott Proctor.
Proctor can cut his fastball a little bit. He might stay right in on the hands of Thames so he can't extend through the ball. Try and keep the ball in the infield. Try and jam him a little bit.
Proctor's arm has bounced back. He got worn down pretty well by the Yankees and then went out to L.A., but he's got his fastball back.
Yeah, with a little bit of late movement too.
So now with a full count and 1 out, Jose Bautista is on deck. You can't sell out totally that you're going to get a fastball, but you got to have a pretty good idea you're going to get a pitch to hit. With that in mind, Russell Martin delivers his thoughts to Scott Proctor.
I'm sure they're going to try and, again, stay inside and just try and jam him so he can't extend through the baseball.
3-2, 1 out. Arancibia at third. There's that fastball right inside. I'm not sure where that hit Thames, but the foul ball came up and knocked his helmet off.
High and tight, right off the bill of the hat. Wow.
And you can see how he had to draw his hands in to make contact with that fastball inside.
Yeah, that's where they're going to stay with him, I think.
George Poulos having a close look at Eric Thames. Looked like he took the force of that off his left eye.
Yeah, you hope that it got the bill and not any part of his face. Watch this once again. They're going to try and tie him up as he pulls his hands in. He tries to get the barrel out there, and he just goes right off his helmet.
You see his reaction is almost disbelief, like, how in the world did I do that? And he's going to be taken out of this game. Proctor did what he wanted. He threw the ball inside and got Thames to chase it. Hopefully Eric will be okay.
If you're going to pick somebody to hit, pick somebody who can make contact. He's only got one shot right here.
Looks like David Cooper is putting his batting gloves on. Now he's got his helmet on. Appears that he is going to be the pinch hitter for Thames.
He's going to inherit that 3 and 2 counts. Same approach that Eric Thames had.
Well, you talk about an emergency pitch hitting situation. Sitting on the bench watching Thames foul off the 3-2 pitch, and then the next thing you know, you're getting ready to stand in full count.
Your name is called, and you get one pitch, one chance right here to try and drive a run in. Got to figure that they're going to try and do the same thing, stay hard in.
3 and 2, 1 out. Cooper walks. Bautista will come to the plate with runners at the corners.
It's Canada's best-selling car 13 years in a row. Honda, the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
So you talk about a short afternoon. David Cooper walks to the plate, takes one pitch, and now he has been lifted for the pinch runner, Dwayne Wise. Jose Bautista looks at a fastball down and out of the zone.
This is going to be fun right here. You've got a power pitcher in Proctor who likes to use his fastball against a power hitter in Bautista.
Breaking ball bounced in the dirt. Wise will move up, and Sebian had to hold at third. Joe Girardi walked Bautista with a man at first and third. Now he's got a base open. You would anticipate he's going to walk him again.
Jose has already taken off his elbow pad. Maybe he looked over in that dugout, and he saw that Girardi is going to go ahead and walk him. He took his elbow pad off while they were retrieving that baseball and throwing it to the on-deck circle. There's a lefty warming up for the Yankees. For that guy right there.
Would you ever tell Dwayne Wise not to run in that situation?
Just to make sure that Bautista, I've seen it happen before.
But in the same regard, Bautista was walked Friday night with runners at the corners and 2 outs, and the open base was at second. Girardi walked him. So Proctor will be lifted. Raul Valdez, the second left-hander to appear here, will come on to take on Adam Lind.
the Yankees. He was called from Double-A Trenton on the 1st of September. There are his numbers with the Cardinals. Just 7 games for Valdez with the Cardinals. Left-hander in the ball game now with the left-handed hitting Adam Lind at the plate.
The bases are loaded for a second time here this afternoon, and we're only a grand slam away from awarding a 70-inch Sharp Aquos Quattron TV. To enter is it hit a home run with Sharp.ca. Adam Lind with 2 home runs. He's also walked. He's had 1 3-home run game in his career. September 29, 2009 at Boston.
He came up for the 4th time and got smoked on the elbow and broke his elbow, and that was right at the end of the season, so he never got a chance to hit that 4th home run. So now he was really studying Valdez when he was on the on-deck circle. Watching, studying what he throws. He's a sinker ball pitcher with a slider. Also, breaking ball pitcher. There's Lind's numbers in his career with the bases loaded.
Lind faced Laffey his last time up, the left-hander. Walked Adam with 2 outs. A little sweeping breaking ball that Lind goes after.
That's what he's going to get a steady eye of, I think, right here. Valdez needs a strikeout or a ground ball. He might show him the fastball, but he's going to throw him lots of breaking pitches.
Put it in a good spot. Breaking ball down and away. It's not a hard breaking ball, just a sweeper. Chance for the Blue Jays to extend their lead. Good job by Russell Martin. That ball was headed for the backstop.
Anticipating that ball away, and he uncorks it up. Martin goes up and saves him a run.
Got a fastball there and fouled it back. Valdez is not a kid. He's 33 years old. Comes out of Cuba. Signed originally with the Cubs back in 2004. Was out of baseball the entire 08 and 09 season. Strike 3 call. A good fastball down and away, and Adam Lind is called out.
Like he crossed him up, threw him a fastball. Lind thinks it's outside. Gives up on it. You can see from the overhead. I mean, it's off the plate, but too close to take.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch to take with 2 strikes, but at the same time, Lind facing Valdez for the first time. Valdez, I think Lind was thinking another breaking ball, but he's called out on that fastball strike. Valdez will stay in and face the right-handed hitting Edwin Encarnacion.
This has been a situation that Encarnacion should be getting used to. Coming up with the bases loaded. Last homestand against Boston, he unleashed a double to right center field to clear the bases. He's had a couple in this series too.
He's hit with a lot of runners on. This time he's got Aaron Sebia at third, Dwayne Wise at second, and Jose Bautista at first. Aaron Sebia started it off with a leadoff double. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Big opportunity. Blue Jays stranded the bases loaded in the 5th. They scored 1 run in the 5th and had a great chance, but Luis Ayala got Encarnacion to fly out to center to end the 5th inning. Ground ball to third. Rodriguez will go to the bag and beat Wise. Again, the Blue Jays can't cash in with the bases loaded. Valdez does his job, but the Blue Jays still lead the Yankees 3-0. From anywhere, online or on the go at RogersOnDemand.com.
Eric Thames has shown marked improvement as an outfielder for the Blue Jays, and he's going to take away extra bases right here from Nunez. He gets a good jump on the ball, full head of steam and full extension, and then sprawls out on the warning track in left field. He's made a couple of nice catches the last 2 games that he has started.
And Thames had to leave the ball game after fouling a pitch off of his helmet. Dwayne Wise took over for the pinch hitter David Cooper, and now Wise takes over defensively in left field. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Beautiful Sunday afternoon at Rogers Center. Brandon Morrow has been great here this afternoon, shutting out the Yankees on 3 hits through 7 innings. Ball is popped into center off the bat of Eric Chavez. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 8th. Morrow went into this game with a lot of confidence. He's thrown some good ball games against the Yankees. This year he's 1-1 in a couple of starts with a very good ERA. The Yankees are resting some players, but a couple of the key players that are out of the lineup never do well against Morrow anyway.
Granderson and Derek Jeter, both of those have batting averages under 200. 2 pitches, 2 outs. That's a very good sign here in the 8th inning. Both of them under 200. Yankees hitting 171 as a team against Morrow and 3 career home starts here at Rogers Center.
Derek Jeter 4 for 22 lifetime against Brandon Morrow. And Curtis Granderson 2 for 16. Casey Jansen standing by. That last pitch from Morrow was his 100th pitch.
And now into the 8th inning. The last time that Brandon Morrow threw 8 innings in a ball game, you have to go all the way back to July the 9th at Cleveland.
You knew that was going to be a strike. No way in the world that Dickerson was going to swing after the first 2 batters were retired on 2 pitches. Oh, and 2.
Got him last time with a high fastball.
Went to the same spot. Dickerson fouled it off.
Might be set up for that slider. He's got 7 strikeouts this afternoon. His highest total since he had 8 on the 3rd of this month.
Bouncing ball. McCoy dives, knocks it down. He doesn't have a play. McCoy got to it, but he had no chance to throw out Dickerson. Just the 4th hit of the afternoon. Another infield hit.
That's 3 infield hits this afternoon by the Yankees. Good effort by McCoy as he flags it down behind second base. No chance to make a throw. 3 infield hits, and then that hit by Nunez to right field when he was promptly picked off. That's 3 times that Pena's gotten a slider that he's hit right off of his shin.
That breaking ball right inside. He hits the top half of the baseball and beats it right down into his feet.
Got a pad on there now after that last time.
Goes in that breaking ball again. Brandon Morrow faced the minimum for 5 straight innings, the 3rd through the 7th. Had a chance to do that here in the 8th, but Chris Dickerson came up with an infield hit with 2 outs. Come on and missed. Pena strikes out for a 2nd time this afternoon. Brandon Morrow, 8 strikeouts, 8 strong innings as he leads 3-0. Now it's time for a Jays Connected update. Here's Jamie Campbell, Greg Zahn in the Blackberry Broadcast Studio here at Rogers Center. Homestand of the season is going to be wrapped up with a 4-game series against the Angels of Anaheim. Vernon Wells and Torrey Hunter will be back. It'll be a 4-game series, all night games, beginning at 7:07, starting on Monday, September 19th. Call the Blue Jays for tickets at 416-341-1234. Kelly Johnson hits one off the end of the bat. Nunez ranging to his right. One down here in the bottom of the 8th. Raul Valdez in his 2nd inning of work. Valdez came on and got some big outs.
Yankee bullpen, I think, is the best in the American League. I mean, it is by the numbers. They're #1 in earned run average. But their bullpen is, I think, pretty special.
Well, if you start from the back end and work forward, it's obviously very special with Mariano Rivera. He tied the record for most career saves with his 601st yesterday. That ties Trevor Hoffman. And then you've got Rafael Soriano, who has been a great closer. He can pitch in the 8th inning. David Robertson has been lights out pitching in the 7th.
Think about this. No Jabba Chamberlain either. He's out for the year with elbow problems. No Damaso Marte, no Pedro Feliciano, who was a big sign to be a left-hander out of the bullpen.
Brett Laurie waits back on that breaking ball and rips it into center field. His first hit of the afternoon.
Better approach right there. Stayed back on that curveball, waited for it to break, and then attacked it. You see him trying to get out on that front foot, but he just kept his hands back.
Laurie's at first with 1 out. Center fielder Colby Rasmus is 0 for 3 so far. Ball on a strike. Rasmus and Valdez were teammates in St. Louis with the Cardinals this year. Valdez made 7 relief appearances in the big leagues with the Cardinals.
And Colby was out in center field, so I'm sure he got a good view of how his breaking ball works. When he'll throw them to left-handers.
He is caught looking at that good breaking ball. That's the 2nd out of the inning.
Curveball drops down, starts it right at him, and freezes him. He can't pull the trigger. 2nd strikeout of the afternoon for Valdez.
So Valdez, good outing of work here this afternoon. He picks up a couple of strikeouts, gives up just 1 hit. George Cantos, a right-handed reliever, will come into the ball game. The Jays lead it 3-0. For your BlackBerry, iPad, or iPhone. Listen to live radio broadcasts and receive batter-by-batter information from every game. At Bat 2011 allows you to customize the app to receive Blue Jays-specific news and alerts. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Fifth relief pitcher of the afternoon used by Joe Girardi is George Cantos.
Cantos spent the whole season in AAA with the Grant Wilkes-Barre team. It's the minor league affiliate there for the Yankees. 262 earned run average, 40 appearances, and made 4 starts for him also.
Brett Lawrie got a terrific jump at first base, but Russell Martin throws him out. That's the first time Brett Lawrie has been caught trying to steal, and Russell Martin enjoys throwing out his Canadian baseball pal through a strike. Frank Francisco comes on to try to close it out. For the Yankees behind the plate, and he gets special pleasure out of throwing out the Canadian Brett Lawrie.
You think? Watch him after he throws him and say, "How dare you try and steal on me?" He throws a strike to second base, and he's loving that. Two catchers sticking together right there as he says something to Martin.
Russell Martin and Brett Lawrie, they know each other. Martin was robbed of an extra base hit on a great play by Brett Lawrie in New York when Lawrie speared a line drive.
A little payback right now. Frank Francisco into the game looking for his 16th save. Last time he was on the mound, that was on the 14th at Boston, and he was dynamite. Picked up that 15th save, had a couple of strikeouts, probably had his best fastball that afternoon.
And starts things off with a good fastball to Brett Gardner. Brandon Morrow needed a great start, and he delivered today. 8 innings of 4 hits, shutout ball. He only walked 1 batter, and that came in the first inning. He struck out 8.
You know, if you count after the base hit by Nunez and thrown out by Bautista on the bases, he didn't retire him, but he got him out. 17 in a row at one time in the middle parts of the game by Morrow. There are his numbers. No earned runs, 8 innings. Again, his longest outing since he was at Cleveland. That was back on July the 9th when he threw 8 innings in that game.
Morrow stymied the Yankees all afternoon. That Gardner throws the bat at the ball, breaks his bat, and fouls it off. I'll be right back here tomorrow night. The Angels are in town for a 4-game series. Jerome Williams will start it for the Angels. He'll go up against Ricky Romero in game 1. Right here on Rogers Sportsnet. The pregame show with Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn. That starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific. Great crowd on hand here at Rogers Center, and they've been entertained to another good ball game. Gardner stays alive. Turner, a little soft line drive to shortstop. First out of the top of the ninth.
Get that first out. And just so the Yankees don't have any thoughts of coming back, and that's something that they've done all season long. Yesterday, Yankees came back from 5 runs down, the 3rd time this year that they have had a comeback win, in which they have had a deficit of at least 5 runs. That's impressive.
Inside. Blue Jays trying to build momentum and carry some confidence into the offseason. They will have closed out the season against Boston, winning 4 of 6, and have a chance to take 2 of 3 against the Yankees right here. That's the start. Got to beat the big boys.
Yeah. Went into New York, and the Yankees swept them earlier this month. But since then, Blue Jays have been playing better baseball.
Ball and a strike to Nunez. A good fastball. Well, you're right on about Francisco. He's had a better fastball here the last month of the season than at any other point of the season.
The last 22 games, he's only had 4 walks. He has used his fastball. At times, he'll use the curveball if it's feeling better. He'll go back and forth between a splitter and his curveball. Which one feels better?
Nunez drives this ball. It's going to split the outfielders and go all the way to the wall. Nunez is going to stop at second base. A ringing double.
Third hit of the afternoon for Eduardo Nunez. He's got some quick hands as he gets to that high pitch from Francisco and just hits it on a line to left center field. He's had an infield hit. He had the single to right field where he was thrown out, and now this double.
You mentioned the Blue Jays. They were up 6-1 in the ball game going into the top of the 6th inning. The Yankees scored 4 in the 6th and 2 in the 7th yesterday afternoon to come back and win that game. Robinson Cano. Francisco with a fastball strike. Cano had the only walk issued by Brandon Morrow. That came in the first inning. Cano was thrown out trying to steal on the back end of a double steal. That was a good splitter. Cano was fooled.
This is the guy you want right here. You don't want Rodriguez coming up representing the tying run.
Alex Rodriguez has been quiet today. Francisco has thrown a lot of strikes since entering the game. 0-2 to Cano. And Sevilla wanted it up, and Francisco delivered. Great weekend series. There have been over 103,000 fans attending the 3 games. Good turnout, great weather, good ball games. Blue Jays won Friday night 5-4. Yankees 7-6 winners yesterday afternoon. Blue Jays trying to win the series. Pops it into center field. Rasmus, Bautista, they almost collide. Again, lack of communication in the outfield. Rasmus, center fielder, has priority. Wind is blowing around, and that compounds the situation.
Yeah, Colby Rasmus called it. You can see him. He is almost camped underneath the ball. Right there, he's slowing down and getting ready to throw, and Bautista cuts in front. He's a very aggressive outfielder. Bautista called it. It looked like the ball just blew back into center field. You're right. Rasmus, the center fielder, has fly ball priority over the outfielders.
Corey LaMelo has encouraged them to be more vocal all summer long. Yankees down to their final out. Alex Rodriguez late on a fastball.
He's got a good one. Francisco been pumping fastballs in there.
Splitter. 0-2.
That's the thing about his splitter. It's so hard. You got to gear up for that fastball. And his splitter is as hard as his fastball at times. That was in a good spot for strike 2.
Pulled that fastball out of the zone away.
Reached back for a little bit of something extra to get it by Rodriguez and came out of his delivery. I wonder if he's calling Aaron Seve out there to talk about what they want to do here so there's no sign stealing.
Not a bad move. If you have any doubts, address it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Frank Francisco tried to save it for Brandon Morrow. Strike 3 called. Rodriguez knew it. Francisco strikes out Rodriguez. The Blue Jays shut out the Yankees and win the series 2-1. Adam Lynn with a pair of home runs, number 25 and 26. Got the Blue Jays off and running early.
They only needed one of those the way Brandon Morrow was throwing this afternoon. He had command of his fastball. He used his breaking ball, his slider for strikeouts. We saw more changeups and curveballs this afternoon from Brandon Morrow. 8 very strong innings for the Blue Jays starter.
Brandon Morrow improves to 10-11 on the season. His ERA drops under 5 at 4.98. Francisco picks up the save for Francisco, number 16. Blue Jays win the series. They go to 7-11 now. Jays Connected Update. Jamie Campbell and Greg Zahn standing by.